Okay, and here is a tour of my garden. It starts here with a compost bin, which I need to move back in the house. It got a little bit gross inside, but the birds really enjoy having some water around. This is got basil, um, chocolate bell pepper, strawberries, some sort of squash coming up. Down here, Astrophytus stellaris, something like that. I'll look it up later and stick it in the description. Got some little guys. Got a saguaro in a pot. There is the area where I'm trying to kill off some oleander. Here is where I have a whole bunch of tomato. This is like just 2 cherry tomato plants that I've taken over, and I've got zinnias and some other stuff that I'm trying to get come up. I just chopped down some amaranth. There's my bee balm. There's salvia. Got edible leaf amaranth. There's my blood orange. It was too heavy to drag away from the house out to where I have the other citrus. Sunflowers. This is where my tortoise is supposed to live, because the state of Arizona said tortoises like living in there. Over here, oh, looks like she's out for a walk, but this is where she usually lives, is underneath these 2 pillows like a princess. So we'll probably find her while we're out and about. Yep, she's right there. Jasmine, some more stuff. Here's Maeve. Hi, Maeve. Hi. Maeve is a Sonoran Desert tortoise. I am taking care of her pretty much for the rest of our lives, whichever one of us goes first. And then if she goes first, I'm sad, and if I go first, she doesn't care, as long as somebody continues to feed her. Oh, was I not done scratching your chin? There you go. Eat your petunias. Or eat grass, whatever. Maeve loves to eat flowers. But I can already feel my phone heating up, so I'm going to keep moving. This is a black oil sunflower that came out of that bird feeder several months ago. There is my pile of parts to make tomato cages. I've got various kales and other brassicas. Oh, that leaf feels so cool even in the direct sunlight. It's about 1 in the afternoon, almost 2 in the afternoon. We've got Hopi red dye amaranth. I don't know if the birds ever come and get this, but that's cat fur. But I have seen them going after the suet. Hummingbird feeder, hummingbird feeder, hummingbird feeder. We have a Dr. Hurd manzanita. What? 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 Don't. You were looking at me, and now you're just going to keep eating that flower. I'm exposing you to the entire world right now, you and your attitude. So there we go. Got my Burbank prickly pear. We've got some cosmos coming up here. This was a tomato planter. The tomato got root knot nematode, so I filled it with marigold. Here's my red dock of banana. Here's more of those same 2 tomatoes, but you can see I've got other stuff going on down here. The poppies aren't really blooming because they're not getting a whole lot of sunlight. There's that. Got skyflower. We've got a moon cactus. We've got, this is, I just ripped this up. This is nasturtium. I'm doing some chop and drop on my African daisy. Give it a quick deadhead. African daisies are supposed to be dead right now. Tell that to my African daisy that's not dead right now. Got some beans going here. Canna lily on a pot, yarrow. Got this guy half off. Half off of already pretty cheap, so I ran away with it. Under there are some native wildflowers. They don't need the shade cloth, but I've got a lot of seedlings. You can see probably some of them. We'll get back around to those. Nasturtium cover crops still going. Somehow they managed to survive March in Arizona. Oh, also this is the caliche crucible. The whole backyard is. Some semi-cloudy day today, but a lot of times we just get blasting sun. But yeah, here's my kale garden. I just chopped up a bunch of kale. I'll show you the giant pile of dead kale in a minute. We got all the flowers are closed right now, but we've got more coming up. Got some French lavender. You might be able to tell now, kind of caliche, the hard clay soil that I'm working with. That's probably a 4 o'clock, should be. I planted over here some okra. It might like some more sunlight, but I'm generally trying to give this area some relief while other stuff comes up. Yeah, but look at all these beautiful plants. I just dusted some fertilizer around this area. It's probably not great viewing, but I'm gonna cover all this back up, including that lavender, so it can finish getting established. I can't tell if the cactus actually likes being covered or not, but the wind usually decides for me what it gets. Got some coreopsis. There's all the kale. This area here was all stinknet, and I went a little overboard and used a very powerful defoliant. The glyphosate was the only part of the bottle that I read. Glyphosate doesn't stick around for a long time, but the 365 part, which I was not paying attention to, I think it's called, not sure how to pronounce it, Iamperzar or something like that. It was kills all 365, but 365 meaning 365 days a year. The heat will break it down. You can see the flies are very interested in the fertilizer that I put down, which bothers some people. It doesn't bother me because they are probably gonna lay little eggies on. Oh, that seedling is not gonna make it because I touched it and its head fell off. There we go. Sometimes a bunny comes around and eats these. Not this time. But yeah, I had stinknet everywhere. So all of this area where you see like the dead dry grass, it's the areas where I sprayed. But yeah, Tacoma stands. You got a Texas ebony that I've got trying to grow here. I'm trying to grow other little things, but I'm really bad about watering this particular area because it really is about this particular section along here is about natives. So we've got, I think that's desert milkweed, got pine needle milkweed. We've got, this was supposed to be hot lips salvia, but it's just coming up purple now. Maybe it wasn't supposed to be hot lips, and that's why, but you can see you got more nasturtium that I put down here. This is supposed to, I think this is going to be coyote gourd, is what I put down here. I just installed this. You can see it's a pretty simple construction. This is cattle panel and T-post with a metal zip tie. I'm gonna finish putting those all the rest of the way down. I've got cabbage going. This is either twister or snowball cabbage. I'm not sure what actually germinated. I just kind of put them both out and about here. This is a cinder block that I use to help the umbrella stay upright. The umbrella is for me, not for the plants so much. I've got mahogany, hibiscus. You can see I throw sunflowers everywhere. Sometimes the birds get them, sometimes they germinate. But they are part of my summer plan for shade. Got broccoli. The broccoli that I have going is pretty much lieutenant broccoli. I planted it around Christmas and New Year's, and it has done quite well. I've got, get out of there. That's this is actually from a sunflower head from last year. Ooh, you're done. Look at all those aphids. Bye-bye. Yeah, so we're gonna open up so that the tomato can come up. That's my favorite type of tomato, cherry sprinkles. I found out after I planted it here that tomatoes and brassicas don't always get along too well. This is gonna be walking stick kale, or should be anyway. Broken off, just stop putting effort into that. I've got so much kale right now that I'm like literally just throwing it places. Not even the rabbit is interested in the kale. Neither is my rotten tortoise. Yeah, and if these don't come up, if these aren't the coyote gourd, they are going to be Texas Cucurbita texana. But you can see, so that red there is I took some of the amaranth and I was just thrashing about wildly last night. You can see some of the seeds. Real tiny black seeds come out of those. Sometimes the seeds are white when it comes to amaranth. That particular variety has red seeds. This leaf is chlorotic. So we're gonna get that out of there. Yeet. This area, I'm just kind of letting the leaves keep things nice. This is my Peter pepper because I don't know what YouTube's gonna let me say, so I'll show you the tag briefly. Here's another African daisy. I just planted this guy. Again, more and more and more because I have found root knot nematode. So more and more and more marigolds. When you go to Lowe's, they almost always have dead and dying marigolds, and I just grabbed those because at the end of the day, I think I might have just picked up tortoise poop. Oh well, with my finger that has a cut on it. It's been baking in the sun, it's fine. But yeah, because sometimes they have them on sale for less than a package of marigold seeds, and even if they are more than a package of marigold seeds, sometimes the plants stick around for a while and give you a whole lot more flowers. Fun thing, they call them French marigolds and African marigolds. They are neither. They are all from like Mexico and Central America. There aren't any marigolds from the Eastern Hemisphere that I'm aware of. So they count for your native garden. What doesn't count for your native garden are vincas, but they do make excellent heat-resistant ground cover. So I just ripped out a whole lot of, what are they called? I just ripped out a whole lot of, more nasturtiums and replaced with baby pumpkin. Replaced these with vincas, as well as this salvia here. You can see this is Seminole pumpkin. That's why I have so many female flowers so early. There is some sort of California digger bee orgy happening in this flower, and it has been going on all day. It's really quite lewd. That is It's not the brand, but it is basically Sluggo, the snail bait, slug and snail bait. You don't need to worry about putting that in your garden. It is a type of iron that it's like a chemical formulation of iron that disrupts slugs and snails and a few other little buggies. Mostly ones that are just going to eat your flowers. Oh look, there's the bees are getting it on in this flower too. I wish they would be getting it on in a female flower, but I don't think any female flowers are open right now, and that's probably why they're only getting it on in the male flowers. You can see this is actually a really old cauliflower that I transplanted from my old backyard, and it is just growing and growing and growing.